To add a new staff member in Masterpiece Manager version 11, click on Admin on the menu on the left and then click on Staff. This will show you a list of all your staff members that you currently have entered, where you can then sort, search, and filter. Entering all your staff names is useful for checking sales commissions or other staff-related reports, setting up user permissions, assigning to a contact, and just keeping track of who did what in the system and when. To add a new name, just click on the Add button in the top right. This will bring up the new staff window. The highlighted fields are the only ones that are required. You can enter the other info if you wish, or enter it at a later date. The username and password is what the staff will use to log into the program. You can enter a secret question and answer if the staff ever forgets their password. Here's where you can assign a user role. User roles will define the permissions the staff has in terms of what they can or cannot do or see. There's another video that goes more into depth on user roles. Every staff member will be marked as active or inactive if left unchecked. Reason why you want this instead of deleting a staff is because there may be a lot of historical data related to an inactive staff, such as paid commissions attached to transactions or the history of when items and contacts were entered by the staff. However, if the is active box is unchecked, this name will not appear in staff dropdowns for reports or on the new cell screen. Let me go ahead and enter some additional information here for illustration purposes. Here's where you can select the default tax type. You'll want to choose the tax type that is most commonly used when you do transactions. That way, when you do a new transaction, the tax is already set, though you can still change the tax if ever needed. So the system is designed to look at the default tax rate first for the staff member, but if it's blank, then it will use the default tax that is in the tax setup. Reason for this is because if you have multiple locations, say in El Paso and New York, you'll want to use the New York staff to default to their tax rate. And speaking of multiple locations, here's where you can define a default company location. Again, useful mainly if you have multiple gallery locations, but if you only have one, you'll want to make sure that this is set to your main gallery name. And here's where you can set your staff commission rate if your gallery does commissions. I'll just put a 3 in here. So if a rate is set here, Masterpiece will calculate how much is owed to the staff based on the transactions and whatever percentage rate that you have here. Whenever you're done, just go ahead and hit save. Now that we have entered a new staff, let's look at some of the places it would be used. One of the main places is on new transactions. So when you enter a new cell, it would default to whoever you're logged in as, though you can change it on the staff tab if ever need be. And again, when you hit save and close for a new cell, it will calculate commission if it's set up, otherwise it will record who made the sale. Another place is on inventory. Let me just scroll to the right, and you can see who it was last updated by, or who entered the item. Similar to inventory, you have your contacts, where you can see who entered the contact, or you could assign a staff member to the contact. And that would be right here. And finally, you have your commission report found under the reports, staff, and then commission report. And that is the summary of how staff works in Masterpiece Manager version 11.